how do we win even without marketing being any good? This is the one topic I spend an inordinate amount of time actually thinking about and working on. For me, it's kind of going back to that metaphor, like, do you know what I mean? If I have 4 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend 3 of them sharpening my axe. This is the sharpening of the axe, because what I think about is I want to use all of the different skill sets and all of the different pieces of ammunition that we have to be able to best have an inevitable outcome that is just wildly profitable business. And so the way that we need to think about this stuff is like, what is an offer that literally they just cannot, the correct prospect cannot say no to? What is it that we actually have to be able to do? Because so many people will say, and we see this a lot in like the business coaching world right now, they're thinking about like, they'll think about like, what's the message? And for me, there's like, the message, then there's the offer, but then there's like the product. Like, what's the actual product that we're selling at the end of the day? And so for me, it was kind of like the way that we have a message is if I have to explain it and start going into like deep details of what's going on, no good. It's got to be super simple. Like my 5-year-old daughter has to get a really good gist of it at the end of the day by me saying it. And even still, like when writing copy and going through your guys' stuff, I'll put the copy and I'll put it into, say, the Hemingway app to see what grade level of language that we're actually using. And I want to have like a 5th grade level of language that we're actually talking to as well. And so as we go through this process, the way I've intended this to be right now is us literally go step by step through. There's kind of like 2 sides of this coin that I'll take you through that I think is like the system to be able to build out really good offers. And as we go through this, I want you to think about each of the different offers that you could be selling, right? So there's the way I think about it is there is the overarching offer that essentially is what your organization is promising to the world, right? So there's like the big umbrella one. Then there's the offer as why am I going to get somebody to go into my ecosystem? So let's say, why am I going to get someone to opt into this funnel? There's that offer as well. Then there's the offer as why am I now going to get someone to book a call? So what's the offer for booking a call? And then when on the call, what's the offer that is then going to say, yes, here's my credit card details and actually make a purchase? So there's 4 offers that we're now dissecting. But the most important thing is they're all congruent with each other as well. They're all making sense that one step goes to the end. So we think about essentially what's the offer that is going to get someone to be like, yep, I'm in. Here's my credit card. Let's go. And then what is the offer that then makes it a no-brainer for them that I'm open to having a conversation with some random person off the internet about this? And that's where it's like booking in like a discovery call or a strategy call, like those things, that terminology is being used for so long. And so with some partners, because their markets are more novice, you can say that sort of, but with sophisticated markets, we can't say that, which is why, I mean, a few years ago with the last company, I was like, oh, I'm going to use it as a demo, because the way I thought about it was a car dealership. What's the one thing that they're really doing when someone walks onto like onto their plot? Test drive, because they know as soon as they can get someone to have a test drive, the chances of them now purchasing are so much higher. Right? They know that's the trigger point. And so for us, it's like, how do we give somebody a test drive? Even the terminology that I've used in copy previously is like, I remember one ad, it was to get a book a call. It was like, I don't want you to make a decision yes or no now. I want you to make an informed decision, and you can only make an informed decision on the inside, not from the outside. So it's to craft it for them to go, oh yeah, like it's stupid if I say yes or no now. I might as well go on the inside, have a test drive, have a demo, see what actually is working. Because then there's the psychology, like on the, say, booking a call, the psychology for it is, am I going for free information, or am I going because I want to see what your system is? So if someone's booking a demonstration and the language, especially on like the broadcast page, the opt-in page, all of that stuff is, book a call so I can show you how we will use our system in your life, in your business, for your property, for your area, for your fitness goals. It's, I'm doing this because I want to see how you're going to use it with me, not I'm going here for free information that hopefully I can maybe use that I know I can quickly duck out of. So we're going for a much higher intent at the end of the day.
So, bro, you said one is here's my money.
Yep.
So that's the actual
yep. Book a call and then opting into whatever your ecosystem is. So let's say it's a VSL funnel or an SLO funnel or something like that. And then the fourth one is like, what's the offer that your brand is known for?
Isn't that was that first?
No, so like there's technically the buying. So there's the buying one, which is how am I going to collect money off you for your front end purchase? And then there's the branding aspect, is like, what am I actually known for? So if we use Tony, for example, brand could be like, I'm going to help you get in shape, actually live life and enjoy yourself. But the front end program could be, here's a 6-week cut. See how they're different? Still talking to the same things, but we're getting detailed on what they actually are. You're good.
Do you have, or do you recommend then an offer to get them to show up to a book call between triage and strap?
No, it's a really good question. So yes, but it's still the reason why they're going to be booking a call, right? So if someone says, I'm going to book a call, so they choose a time in the calendar, the idea is even to say, because the way I think about it is, even if I took all notifications off, didn't send them anything, they would chew glass and crawl through snow to get onto that call because the offer for the call is so good, right? So make why they're going to do that thing so good that they'll go through an extent. And I don't have to have 45 fucking SMSs reminding them about, like, let's say we're running a workshop, right? They know that it is so valuable for them to get onto the workshop. They're going to go to the effort to make sure that they'll get there and attend and be present and have no distractions because it's so valuable. If something's not that valuable, that's why somebody's going to be like, oh shit, I forgot. Or, oh, I booked it, but no, I can't do it because I've got to go pick up the kids from school or something along those lines. Do you know what I mean? So that's why you want to make it so valuable for them to get there.
You do that. So let's just say you've got a salesperson doing outbound and they book in a triage, or they've actually got them on the die to say, hey, let's book in a sales board, strategy session, whatever you want to call it. Where do you make sure that you're selling that call? Is it in that session, that conversation in the triage? They've got to actually sell that call and go, look, we're actually going to see how this implements in your system.
For your example, I'm going to show you, you're going to get off this call knowing what your property plan is going to be for the next 10 to 15 years.
It's in the simple wording, it's the difference between outbound is the triage this guy. Hey, we just want to find out, like, you hear that, well, we want to find out whether we fail, we want to find out, like, it's like, get anyone that, it's the way to be hearing a bit of that on the report is. So it's more so rather than saying, look, I want to show you how what we do fits in your personal situation so that we can have a personalized blueprint on how to have a look at you 100% where you're at. 100%.
Well, that's more selling some of the uniqueness of, it's not just a sales call like to show you.
What's the thought process on offering something that practically is a little bit, one's called sleazy, but for example, like, say you're like, you can book in for a call, it'll be a game plan session, we'll show you how Daniel went from 0 to 60K months organically in the last 12 months with us. So I want to show up because I'm quite interested to see how that happens. But then does that bring the wrong type of person to the call? Do you know what I mean?
Technically, the only way is test it and then we'll figure it out.
But that type of offer, because I talked about having the sales guys, because then sales guys need to know the process. I've talked to Steve before, because I don't think we're obvious about the problem is most people don't think the problem is sales, but which it is. Yeah, I was going to say, we'll run you through, not a script, but we'll review your sale ability on a call, because that being the hint closers could actually probably do, and then they're into the peaks. But whether or not that makes sense, I don't know.
It's Daniel Wells. It doesn't even have to be silly. It's like, hey, want to shout it out. Tony did this game on the blah, blah, blah.
He's so pretty low. That's why it's like, or not super creep.
Well, let's say that to be law proof would be, that's supposed to easy. Like, hey, we'll look at whether we could be our boss. That is be our elites.
Yeah.
It's just an extra one law.
Yeah. yeah, I've got this system and I can show you how you can do it. And is this actually going to be for you?
Well, that's why you'll do it, yeah.
And I'll maybe even tinker with like, do you qualify to use this system?
Yes, and you would then rehearse you would tweak your profile or your triage just a little bit. What the?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty much first 5 minutes is this, and then it's really you'll qualify you.
So I didn't put it in the slides, but one bit I knew as a part of this is if you have a really banging offer, like it is literally like, oh shit, this is really goddamn good, which is ultimately what we want to be able to engineer and create first. However, if we know that we're a couple of steps away from that, it's still good, but it's not like this is the cure of cancer good, right? What we want to be able to do is then think about what is it that is going to differentiate us from everybody else out in that marketplace. Why is this actually different from everyone's, right? So there's 6 key points I wanted to go through in this one. So this is where, number one, I want you to think about the way I thought about this was for other people is, let's say, for example, it's silly for another, let's say a competitor of ours to try and outcompete us with their marketing because we'll win. Our marketing's better. Our messaging's better. The way the structure is better. Like all of that's better. So I think of it like, is Hormozy said this to me in 2018, right? And so he was doing gym launch at the time. I was running Cartel at the time. So he taught gyms. I taught online fit pros. And he said to me, he goes, we kind of like jammed for a little bit. And he goes, you'll only win when you can scrape the bottom of the barrel and get losers to win. And then immediately I understood what he was trying to say. Like, how can you have your system drag people across the line to be able to win, right? It's that goddamn good because then you can reset your economic model. You can restructure how your pricing is actually going to work, how people are actually going to engage in what you do. All of that good stuff is downstream of these bigger decisions that we have to make. So for me, I'm like, how do we win even without marketing being any good, right? How do you make it so good that the marketing can be mediocre?